fantastic. And it actually leads us nicely onto the final thing we're going to talk about today. And it was the main reason you got in touch with me about 2 weeks ago. Is that you want to start another project? It's like if you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. Um, is that you want to start another project now around, I think, a public awareness type campaign around Krishna consciousness, maybe producing a film or a video. Video is such an old fashioned word, isn't it? Video. Um, Tell us a bit about that and what it is.
Yeah, so thanks, Narad. I mean, like I say, yeah, I got in touch, and that was the thing that finally got us to have this session, which is, you've been in touch over the years, and I've been like, oh, I'm not quite ready yet, and stuff and whatever, and it's just magically aligned with this. Yeah, Gaurapanim, which is Lord Chaitanya's birthday, for anyone who doesn't know, celebration. I was looking online for a film to watch on Gaurapanim, and I found one from you mentioned earlier from the other lineage.
The disciples of the disciples
Narayan
of
Maharaj.
Narayan Maharaj. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Sorry, Narayan Maharaj. I just, yeah, it totally went on my mind. Yeah, so, and which was a fantastic film, and I really enjoyed it. I really got a lot from it, and I loved it. And I recognized some of the devotees on there from my past down in Glastonbury and stuff, which is great. And as a devotee, it was fantastic. I got to learn a lot from it, and then I saw there was an ISKCON one out there, something like Lord Chaitanya's Prophecy or something, but it was a play. It wasn't like a film or a documentary. Like the Narayan Maharaj one was really made well. It was fantastic, and something along those lines is what I'm aiming to achieve, really. But obviously, coming from my own background, I haven't had so much association with Narayan Maharaj. I've had quite a lot of association with his devotees, which is fantastic. I'm very open-minded, and I believe in building bridges, not walls, and I think it's important, especially like you said earlier, we're all one family, really, and I think it's important to try and keep that, because we're all Vaishnavas of some sort. And so anyway, at a similar time, there was a film called Christspiracy, which got released, and that came on my radar, and I was like, oh, I'll check that out. And I went to see the Indiegogo campaign on that, and they raised a phenomenal amount of money in order to get that out there, and it was produced really well. But I couldn't help thinking, it's like, there's nothing out there at the moment of Gouranga, Mahaprabhu, and he's so close to my heart. He, I mean, it's so close to my heart, and like, we're only 500 years into 10,000-year golden age within Kali Yuga, which is 432,000 years long, and we're only 5,000 years into Kali Yuga. And I think with all the trouble and strife that's going on in the world right now, it's a prime time, really, to get something out there on a bigger scale that's accessible to the masses, that people can actually understand who the Hare Krishnas are. Why are they chanting this Maha Mantra? Why is that so significant? Because so many people see us chanting in the streets, down Oxford Street, down Cardiff, or whatever. But do they really know? Like what I was like, oh, there's the Hare Krishnas, what are they on, type of thing? They don't necessarily know the depth or the essence of the philosophy of what's being conveyed, or the depth of that mantra in itself. So, yeah, that's my mission. That's what I've taken upon myself anyway. I felt around that time that I was being guided, having seen what was available on the mass market. Like, I'm not a filmmaker, but I got a lot of love for Radha and Krishna, and a lot of love for to my capabilities anyway of Gouranga, and I'm deeply grateful for what they have done for me and how they've kept bringing me back onto the path, Radha and Krishna, Gouranga. And I think there's so many people out there which haven't got access to this message, which could gain so much, especially now after everything we've just been through on the world stage. I think there's a lot of people searching. I remember Kripa Moya Prabhu telling me like that the churches were fullest after world wars. And we've just been through something similar, really, on a world stage that definitely in my lifetime, I've never experienced something at that level. I think there's a lot of people suffering, and the mental health increase is, the statistics show it as well, with the mental health increase. And I think a lot of people are at the point that they know that, like where I was like 12 or 13 years ago, when I'd done all of these research into the world, conspiracy theories, truth theories, whatever, then I think there's a lot of people at that point that are searching, they're searching for something. And I see so many different theories and stuff online about different things, about the Great Awakening and this, that, and the other. But what frustrates me is it doesn't seem to have much depth. There's not much like foundation to it. Whereas, as as we know, as Vaishnavas, there's so much depth to this culture and this philosophy, but it can get brushed away as, oh, that's just the Hare Krishnas, or that's just some hippies or something. But I want to try and convey this in the film, is what I'm saying, to be able to get out to the masses. As you can see, I'm really passionate about it. And yeah, so anybody out there, if you can help, we've got, by the time this goes live, we'll hopefully have the crowdfunder available and the link to put along with this as well. So if you can help in any way, as little or as large as you can, if you have some spare money there and you want to put it to a good cause, to service, I promise you that I will put it to the good cause. And this isn't going to be a profit film. If any profit comes from it, it'll be going back into like a farm community or some kind of Krishna conscious activities. However, it's all going to be, it's a non-profit. And I said, I want to do this as part of service. We've got our business and stuff. This is part of giving back for me and part of the service. So yeah, if you can help, as you know, it costs a lot of money to get the film crews together, to do the editing, thousands probably. So I need as much help as possible. If you feel inspired by that message, then please give what you can. That would be fantastic. And yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
It sounds like a huge project, and I reckon you're the person to run with it and lead it. Yeah, a film about the life of Gouranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Lord Chaitanya, that's put together about him and his contribution to the world from an unbiased perspective, because you're absolutely right. There are a few things online already, and the disciples of Narayana Maharaj have put together a fantastic film about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already. I've seen it. Forgive me, I can't remember what it's called, but you want to try and create one that is really doesn't then have a spin on it. And we're all conscious of putting spins on things, so I'm not picking on anyone by saying that. We're all conscious of putting a spin on. Oh, and this group, or in this group, we'll come to this temple. We're all, even subconsciously, we put spins on things. There's an agenda, and you want to try and produce a film that really doesn't have an agenda other than a film about the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatara for this age, and what he was all about, and how we can follow him.
Yeah, and help people to understand that.
Yeah.
And the depth of that message, exactly what you said there, the depth of that, and where we're currently at in the bigger cycle. Like what spiritual traditions and religions talk about time in the scale that the Vedas do. I mean, it's very, like, that's only one age, which is 432,000 years long, and the other ages are even longer. It's like we're used to talking about 2,000 years ago, the Christ, right? That's what the world is usually. But when you start talking about thousands of years ago, then it really puts into perspective, is what I'm trying to say, as to where we're actually at in the bigger scheme of things now. And I think that can bring a lot of solace to people's hearts, really.
Yeah. And you said something just that made me realize, or reminded me of a conversation I had with someone else a while ago, is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life on earth wasn't that long ago, 500 years ago, and is actually around the same time as William Shakespeare, Henry VIII here in England. So, and we learn about Henry VIII and William Shakespeare as in, oh, it wasn't that long ago, or relatively recent history in the grand scheme of eternity. And actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in India at the same time. So it's quite amazing when you look at it like that. And we have a lot of evidence, bit of a broad term, about Henry VIII and what he said and what he did, and his 6 wives, and William Shakespeare, all the things that he wrote. And at the same time, in another continent or country, there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who we recognize as the golden avatar for this age, an avatar, or we don't use the word incarnation, but let's just say incarnation of Radha and Krishna, living at the same time. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Flat out.
And the world doesn't know about him.
No. No, and it's like it's frustrating, and I don't know if you feel the same, but I can feel it with your passion around what you're saying there. I certainly feel like it's frustrating because you almost, I don't know, yeah, you just want other people, you've been blessed by it, and you're just like in the mood of Prabhupada and in the mood of, yeah, the ISKCON movement, I suppose, in general, or devotees in general, is you just want to help others like you've been helped, right? And it's so yeah, it's a big undertaking. We're really busy with other things, and it's like you say, it's not the only agenda is that. That is the agenda for me. The agenda is that I just want other people to be blessed like I've been blessed. And this particular incarnation doesn't happen. Like it's very, very rare. It's
Mm.
rare as rocking horse stuff. As
Mm.
people say, right, rocking horse poo. And so it, and it's yeah, divine incarnation of Radha and Krishna in one, showing us how to be their devotee, showing us how to live. And yeah, it's pretty profound. And I feel I can't get my head around it that I'm actually being blessed with a birth 500, just 500 years, like we were saying, after Lord Chaitanya. You know, he was actually like God himself, himself was actually on our land like 500 years ago, as far out. And we've got direct lineages which are coming down from God, giving us the guidance to help us. We're all struggling in some, if we're honest, we're all struggling in some way. And they're giving us the guidance in order to help to overcome that.
Mm.
Mm.
Wonderful. Well, I will put a link to the fundraiser with this podcast on Facebook and YouTube. And hopefully, our viewers and listeners hopefully, will feel inspired to donate. And I do wish you the best of luck with it. I should be checking in every now and then to see how it's going.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I hope it goes well. Okay, believe it or not, we've been recording this podcast for quite a while, well over 90 minutes, maybe close to an hour 45, possibly.
Oof, we've gone one of the longer ones.
It's okay. I've done some marathon runs in the past. The key is don't drink a lot before the podcast, so I don't have to go to the toilet.
Yeah, right.
I'll run after. But a big thank you to. So I think Sacha Harry, I'll just say goodbye to the viewers at home. Then you and I can have a brief debrief after. But a big thank you to Sacha Harry Prabhu for being our 130th guest on the Hare Krishna Project podcast. I'm delighted that he finally has appeared. And it's great how our paths keep crossing all the time. And I'm genuinely very pleased for you. I'm pleased that you're associating with devotees and just all those things. And I'm pleased that you're associating with devotees that you want to hang out with. Not that you haven't been in the past, but I'm really pleased for you. My personal view is I don't really care which mat people are with. I don't really care what someone's guru is. Doesn't bother me. I don't have sleepless nights about it. I've got my own life to live. Um, I'm just pleased to hear that people are practicing Krishna consciousness, and not only that, but you're inspired to share it with others, which is great. You know, one of my big bugbears in the Hare Krishna movement is I've met so many miserable devotees. So what are you miserable for? We're trying to follow the most beautiful philosophy in the world. That's like we've been saved. You know, use a Christian term. What are you miserable for? My goodness, I get fed up with it.
It's supposed to be joyful, right? Yeah.
Yeah, joyful. Okay, so do not forget if you're watching this on YouTube to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you're watching this on Facebook, to like or follow the Hare Krishna Project Facebook page. And also, I love to receive feedback. I do after every podcast, and I love to particularly receive constructive feedback. I love to. Don't just tell me you don't like me because of something. Give me some constructive feedback. And do not forget, if you want to appear as a guest on the Hare Krishna Project podcast in the future, please do get in touch. So until next week, I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.